Let's meet you officially.
Okay, I'm Tega Onajiafe, founder of Ladies in Sports Conference.
So, what brought about this initiative?
It's just that I felt that women were not getting enough in sports, and I didn't think it was totally people that were supposed to be putting in sports. I also thought that women had a lot to do to start having a voice in sports and to start having influence on sports. So I said, perhaps we need to educate ourselves as women in different areas. And I just thought, okay, a conference would do. Every year, let's have a conference that address the issues that we are complaining about and see what if there is nothing we can do. So I did some research. I asked some people a few questions, and I said, how many Super Falcons players do you know? How many Super Eagles players do you know? Some people would say, Asisato Shwala, Onomebi. End of discussion. So who are the rest? But we know all the players in the Super Eagles to the bench. In fact, we even know the players that should be coming into the Super Eagles that have never come into Super Eagles. So there's something that women need to be a bit more visible. Need to be a bit more marketable in their branding, and that's why we have this conference. Let's educate ourselves. Let's talk to ourselves as women. How can we make brands that people want to leverage on, as opposed to sitting down and waiting for hand-me-downs?
But what do you think is that has made that thing a big issue and that has caused a big gap between male and female?
Oh, first of all, it started culturally. We know a woman is supposed to be in her house, supposed to be reserved. It started culturally. A woman is supposed to be seen, not heard. So it started culturally. But over the years, with new information, with new orientation, people started coming out. But even then, women started, a lot of time, women are looked at as a gender thing. So we want to look diverse in our gender. So we bring one woman with expertise. I don't want it to be a question of a woman was employed because of her gender. I want it to be a question of a woman was employed because of her expertise. So it's not that she was a woman, that's why she's on the board of directors. It's because she knows what she's doing, so she's on the board of directors. So we have to get women to that level. So it started culturally, but ultimately, because when you are used to being on the back burner, sometimes you don't know how to fight through and stake your claim on anything. And so I think now this is a conversation to bring women forward.
You in your own field, you are forced to reckon with when it comes to media. At a point in time, did you kick the round ladder? And why are you trying to advocate for female?
I never kicked the round ladder. Never. I'm not a physical person, sorry. This is my own area of expertise. But I'm trying to... what really made me push for women, especially this year, was the debacle that happened last year. Women went out to represent the country nationally, came back and had to carry placards and were protesting to be paid bonuses. I thought it was ridiculous. So it's Ladies in Sports covers sports generally, but we take different sports to focus on based on different problems. So this year I decided that we are going to focus on football based on what's happening, because especially football, women's football team is the most successful in Africa. The Super Falcons, the most successful team national team in Africa, male and female, and they're protesting for bonuses. So I said, we as women too, we also need to carry ourselves. We need to stop acting on the basis of donor beneficiary. What can we do to get the Super Falcons not dependent on government funds? That's what this conference is about.
So putting this conference together, what are some of the challenges you face? The first one you say is finance.
In fact, that was the first one. The second one was getting people to talk about women's sports. I met some people that were willing to attend, but not to speak. So I called in some experts, and I'm talking experts in the men's football league. And they said, we don't know anything about women's football. Yes, shocking, you would think. But there's a difference. And so because it's uncharted waters to them, they couldn't come and speak about it. So getting speakers was one of it. Getting people involved, because sometimes people say women's sport is not interesting, so why should I be the one to talk? Getting people educated about that was another thing. And then, of course, the financial part. But we all deal with financial issues in Nigeria every day, don't we? Yes, we do.
So would you say you are a bit disappointed with the turnout, or would you say at least being the maiden edition, you are fully satisfied?
Actually, this is second edition. We had one last year, a smaller one last year, and that dealt with the athletes. I think I'll say I was happy with the turnout because I saw there were club administrators here, there were players here. That was the crowd I was trying to attract. I want to make an impact, but I know it's not going to take one day to do the journey. So I will start from where I am. And the people that came here were more than enough for us to start a conversation. So I'm not disappointed in the turnout. I actually prepared for an exclusive event. But next year I know it will be bigger.
Did you get the needed support from your colleagues?
Oh, did you see how many media people were here? Yes, we did. I did get support from my colleagues, and I want to say, sports writers are the best colleagues to have. Yes, and I'm talking to everybody because they did. They were here, and most of them have been here from morning till now. They waited till it was over. They socialized about it. They encouraged me. I did get a lot of support from my colleagues, so I like to use this opportunity to say thank you.
So from here, next 3-5 years, what should we expect in women if in sport, ladies in sport conference?
A bigger, a more global brand. Because I don't want to be restricted to Nigeria or just Lagos. That's why we had Benny Bosun here. We are starting a conversation internationally. So once we can get our sisters abroad to join us, it becomes a global thing. So Benny Bosun is a bridge across, and hopefully we can get more international conversations, international support, and we take it from there.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's really a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.